Namaskar friends, myself Deepak Kumar Rath. I welcome you to the digital media of Uday India. And in India Things today I will speak about the double standards of US. Friends, you will know that in recent times the phenomenon of protest has become a ubiquitous feature of societies across the globe. However, amidst the fervor of activism, a notable absence has arisen: the lack of protest against the Gaza war in Islamic countries. And surprisingly, the outcry against this conflict has resonated more prominently in the United States and India. Equally alarming is the creeping Islamization of Europe that poses significant challenges to world peace. The United States of America, that has little understanding of the complexities of the current situation, has the ironic yet startling development of lecturing India on human rights when it suppresses protests while using the same tactics to arrest the demonstrators and encourage Indian-style elements within its nation. This is evident in the country's crushing of pro-Palestinian protests which have taken place across its universities. The US government is responding to the protest camp with force, arresting disruptive demonstrators, while when the Indian government acts against riot mongers dressed as student activists such as Umar Khalid and minimizes criminal activity, it enjoys lecturing Indian government on human rights. And a video from University of California, Los Angeles is going viral where police is giving these pro-Palestinian supporters a nice beating. And this is the only way to deal with these pro-Palestinian Marxists, professors and students in India. Friends, one cannot even imagine police entering in a campus. India must learn from USA how to treat them. While the US government is taking massive actions to put an end to anti-Semitic demonstrations in US institutions, it also defends similar groups, and in the case of India, terrorists, when the Indian government takes strong action against them. India was included in the US State Department's country human rights practices report, which was released on 22nd April. The report contained a lot of whitewashing of those who act similarly in India, such as Umar Khalid and Sharjeel Imam. The US government's egregious double standards are concerning because it expects the Indian government to be lenient towards anti-India students and journalists while simultaneously defending the human rights of criminals like Atiq Ahmad and violently suppressing student protests in the universities. The US support or response to protest and anti-national elements call into the doubt the country's sincerity when it comes to human rights concerns. Why would it allow smashing such groups in its own nation to re-establish law and order, while it allows anti-Indian activists to dance on its head in the name of human rights, freedom of expression and other ideals? The United States detains, arrests and violently suppresses the same people with its own borders while whitewashing and downplaying the anti-social and anti-national acts of followers and propagators of the same ideology in India. In an obvious demonstration of its hypocrisy, the US prioritizes law and order in the face of large-scale protests while preaching human rights, freedom of speech and other such ideals in the nations like India. Now, this brings us to another question. Number one, why there are no pro-Palestine students protests happening in any of 56 Islamic countries like Turkey, Egypt, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Malaysia, Indonesia, etc., etc.? Why are all protests happening either in US or Europe or India only? Second, why? Why are there no student protests for Syria, Yemen, Afghanistan, Sudan, Congo and Nigeria where civil war is going on and situation is worse than Palestine? Why are all protests only for Palestine? I know you don't have any answer of these two questions. The relative quiet on Arab streets and colleges could be attributed to a variety of factors such as political disagreements with Hamas and its Iranian supporters, uncertainty about the potential influence of protest in state policy, or a fear of offsetting autocratic regimes. If Arab individuals protest without governmental authorization, they may face harsher consequences than American students at prestigious universities who risk arrest or expulsion from their institutions. And remember two things whenever you analyze political event. Number one, nothing happens accidentally. It's always designed, and if it looks accidentally, then it means it was designed that way. Number two, follow the money trail. After all, who is funding? We all know US and Saudi Arabia is the biggest fund and arms provider to these anti-peace activists all around the world. Saudi Arabia with its Wahhabi ideology and the US with its arms industry are fueling protests all over the world. People like George Soros, who wants to destabilize established governments all around the world, funds all these movements. We all know that. And it is high time that we, the people who believe in Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam for centuries, give them a tight slap and tell them this is a problem which will engulf whole of the world and consequently lead to World War III, and sooner or later we have to find a solution to end this ever menacing problem. That's all for today. Stay tuned with Uday India. That's all for today. Subscribe Uday India. Thank you.